What's up, folks? It's your boy Sports PSP in the building. Man, hope everyone is enjoying a fantastic day. I certainly know for a fact I am. I am having a wonderful, magnificent day. Yesterday, I wish I could have done this video. Unfortunately, I didn't do it because I was at work. I was too busy, grinding, trying to make my money. But today is a new day. Today is a new day. A refreshing day. A rejuvenating day. A wonderful day. I'm reading an article here from ESPN's John Keim, who covers the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders owner Dan and Tanya Snyder have reached a preliminary non-exclusive agreement to sell the NFL franchise to a group led by Josh Harris, who also co-owns teams in the NBA and NHL for a record $6.05 billion, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Thursday. The non-exclusive deal is fully financed but not signed, meaning another group could still come in and buy the team. Any deal also has to be submitted and approved by league owners. A group led by Canadian billionaire Steve Apostolopoulos is still involved in the sales process, a source told ESPN. The $6.05 billion would top the previous record sale for a franchise, which was set in August when a group led by Walmart heir Rob Walton bought the Denver Broncos for $4.65 billion. A group led by Daniel Snyder purchased the Washington franchise in May 1999 for $800 million. A deal for the Commanders likely won't be approved until the league meetings scheduled for May 22nd through May 24th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The NFL's 8-member finance committee will examine the documents and then put it to a vote of the 31 team owners. The NFL is familiar with Harris, who was a finalist in the bidding for the Broncos last summer before the Walton Group won out. The deal for the Commanders includes FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, and the team's practice facility in Ashburn, Virginia. The Commanders have been seeking a new stadium somewhere in the Washington, D.C. area. According to multiple people involved in the process, Snyder's presence and the investigations into him and the franchise had stalled the process in the past year. So, man. And you can read the rest of the article from the ESPN from John Keim. First of all, what are my thoughts? Thank God. Absolutely thank God. Thank the good Lord himself that Dan Snyder is gone. Is gone. He is gone. He is no longer going to be the owner of the Washington Commanders because, folks, as an owner, since he took over the team back in 1999, May 25th, 1999, when he purchased the team for $800 million. Throughout his stewardship, 24 years, his record is 164, 220-2. Only managed to win 2 playoff games his entire tenure as the owner of the Washington Commanders. He has made horrible off-season moves during his ownership, such as Albert Hainsworth, such as Josh Norman. Throughout Washington, he has been a disgrace as an owner. He took over, of course, due to the late, great, legendary owner Jack Kent Cooke. And ever since he took ownership, it's been a fucking clown show, a shit show. And I've said it before, folks, with Dan Snyder. He is one of, if not the worst owners in all of sports. There's him. There's James Dolan of the New York Knicks. There's Jimmy Haslam of the Cleveland Browns. If you're going to throw a conversation, if you're going to have a discussion as to who is one of the worst owners in all of sports, Dan Snyder belongs in that category. But it's not only his incompetency as an owner. Think of all the horrible things that has transpired under Washington. The numerous sexual misconduct, sexual harassment stories. We all know how horrible the FedEx Field, the stadium was. Ultimately, they changed the name of the team. They went from the Washington, I don't want to use the term, but you know which team they previously were, to the Washington football team, now to the Washington Commanders. And remember, Dan Snyder was quoted saying, "We will never change the name." You could put it in caps. Dan Snyder is gone. This is a wonderful, exciting, thrilling day for the rest of DC Commanders fans, because we, as well as the rest of the NFL and football fans in general, can finally move on. Washington, of course, with new ownership, should be better. And when Washington is better, because nation's capital, DC, of course, it's going to make the NFL even more better. It's going to suck for the rest of the NFC East teams like the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, because now with new ownership, Washington will no longer be the clown show or the shit show as they were with Snyder. So I'm glad I got that out the way. Now with the new ownership, you have to earn my trust. Even though I am finally relieved, oh my dear God, I am relieved that Dan Snyder is no longer the owner. You got to earn my trust. You got to earn my trust, which means if you're going to be the owner, I expect you to do the best job you possibly can. Of course, I expect you to be better than Snyder, duh. But I want an owner who will surround himself with people who will do what's in the best interest for the Washington Commanders. That will evaluate, identify, and bring in the right type of talent and product to the football team. Someone who can help change the culture for Washington, which is what we seriously need. Someone who could bring Commanders fans hope, something to look forward to, something for Commanders fans to feel proud to. Because I got to be honest, folks, as a Commanders fan, it's been a lot of hell. The shit I've been through as a Commanders fan, it's been hard. Fucking hard. Because I had to deal with all the years of embarrassment, and people still to this day ask me, why am I still a Commanders fan? Because I grew up with this team. One of my favorite players, God rest his soul, Sean Taylor. All I'm expecting with new ownership, if you got to earn my trust. Of course, I expect you to do a better job than Dan Snyder, but I feel like in order for you to help us out, you got to surround yourself with the right people. Some people, the people who will tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. You can't surround yourself with yes people, because if you surround yourself with yes people, then guess what? It's going to get even worse. Either it's going to stay the same as far as with the production, or it'll get worse. And I think that's been the problem with Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Daniel Snyder only will surround himself with people that he'll listen to, that he wants to listen to, instead of what he needs to know. And that has cost the Washington Commanders. So I hope with the new ownership, Washington will get better. Now, it's going to take us some time in order for us to get to where we want to go. I expect us to improve and get better and better with new ownership in 4 or 5 years, because it takes a lot of time. We got to do a lot of things in order for us to help out the team. We're still unsure with the quarterback situation with Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett. We're still unsure with Ron Rivera. I believe with new ownership, there's going to be big changes as far as head coaching, quarterbacks, players, personnel. There's going to be new changes because with new ownership, I expect new additions to the team, replacements. I expect that. And I expect Washington with new ownership that there's going to be higher standards. Nevertheless, this is a great thrilling day for Washington because finally we got that embarrassment of an owner in Dan Snyder gone. It's bad enough I've had to deal with him as far as his incompetency as an owner, but the off-the-field mess, man, and with the sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and the name, it was just hard for me to deal with, man. I mean, but thank God he's gone. Even though it's 12:05 in the Eastern Standard Time, shit, I might as well get myself a drink or two. Shit, I wish I had a fucking bottle of Hennessy or some Di Serrano or something, because that's how thrilled I am. He is gone. Finito. So, oh, man. What a day, folks. What a day. This is the beginning of a new day for Commanders fans. I am thrilled. I am elated. I am excited. DC Commanders fans, I know y'all too. And I hope with the new ownership, I hope it turns around the franchise. Like I said, we need culture change. We need difference makers. We need the right type of personnel in order for Washington to go exactly where we once were. That's all I got to say, folks. But anyway, please leave your comments in the comment section below. What do you make of Dan Snyder selling the team? Is it finally, is it a great day for the NFL and for Commanders fans and so much more? Please also leave other comments, and please also leave out other things that I did not mention. Outside of that, folks, it's your boy Sports PSP. Hope everyone's enjoying a magnificent day. I apologize for the cursing. And of course, folks, as always, God bless.